All right, so good evening, everyone. It's Monday again, and it's the live market review. So let's go and jump in on the charts now, particularly on the major currency pairs. Just before I do that, remember everyone, trading is risky and may not be appropriate for all investors. So please take this content as a general commentary and must not be considered as a financial advice. All right. So please apply trader's discretion every time you take a position, whether it's a buy or a sell. So here's the chart now. Okay, starting off with AUD USD. Look at that, price is still above that 71.86 level that we have drawn from last week. So if you notice, or just a quick review, this is a level. Oops, sorry, sana yung aking drawing tool, right? So this is the level that we were trying to see if the price can continue to break out. And yes, that's a beautiful bounce right there. So we're keeping that long position. And let's see if this is the continuation of this reversal from a downtrend towards that direction this time. So if you don't have any positions yet, probably you can check this low test bar or yung pin bar na nakikita natin dito sa 4-hourly chart. So in the next few minutes, right, this bar will be confirmed if it becomes a low test bar. Yeah. Or for some, it's a hammer in the candlesticks world. So this could be your confirmation to get in for another buy order, right? The H1 chart is also on that crossover, right? So for the people who are looking for a buy position, in this case on a lower time frame, that's a good sign right there. For the 15-minute chart, hindi pa po siya nagre-reverse. So ito yung actually na inaantay natin to scale in on this position later on. Okay? So that's AUD USD. On the daily chart down to the 15-minute chart. So the bias is still going for that long position. Let's see how the market will proceed this week. All right. Moving on to Euro USD. I would love to go on a buy already, pero we are very, very close at the resistance from last week. If you notice, hindi pa tayo nag-buy kaagad, right? But if you are anticipating for a sideways moving market, so you might want to wait for that price to hit that resistance muna, then test if the price can really break through or not. Pero pag hindi naman nangyari yon, then baka itong sideways market na to ang gusto nyong makita later on. So watch out for the resistance at 1.0778 and the floor level at 1.0656. All right, so ito yung inaabangan natin dito. So some indicators that you might want to use when you're anticipating for a sideways moving market, definitely is not the EMA, right? So pwede kayong maglagay ng, depende po sa kung anong gusto niyo ha, pwede kayong maglagay ng RSI, right? Where you are just watching for the overbought and the oversold level. So ibig sabihin, if the price reached that ceiling right there, you want to see this on the overbought level as well. If the price is touching the floor, you want to see the indicator touching the oversold level. So that's one way to go about it. So it really depends if you want to go for the RSI, or for some, if you are looking to use your stochastic oscillator, right? It will vary na lang on what time frame you want to execute the trade at, and the parameters of your indicators. For me personally, I usually go for the default and look at from there, right? And of course, if you're looking for some divergence, convergence, so it will really depend on which time frame you want to take the trade into. For me personally, I want to see the price break out, right? I want to see the price break out kasi my bias here is still bullish, right? So pero nga inaabangan ko for a long-term buy na mag-breakout talaga siya. Same goes with GBP USD, right? Same goes with GBP USD. I was anticipating for this reversal to really happen very, very soon. But this resistance is quite strong for us, right? On GBP USD, it's 1.2662. And the floor level is 1.2487, right? So if you're plotting your support and resistance, you can pause this video right here. Then you go to your chart, right? Again, there's no right or wrong horizontal levels right there, okay? The horizontal levels purpose is to give you a view of where the price is likely to either break or reverse, right? So in this case, these are the levels that I have so far, right? And if the price breaks through, then saka tayo maghahanap. Probably I'll be looking at the next one somewhere at this level right here. Let me just draw it for everyone's benefit here. Okay, so that will be on 29.95.97. Yep. So this is a previous floor level that was broken. So ibig sabihin, if the price breaks out, that's the first thing that I'll be considering as my nearest ceiling as far as this data is concerned. So I usually go for at least the first 3 months, right? If there's a need for me to go further, then I'll zoom out further, right? So if that's the case, I could possibly go for a much conservative level somewhere right here, right? So kumbaga, yan, abangan natin yan, which is about 80 pips naman. All right. So then again, if the price stays on this sideways move, I will disregard my EMAs there. Then I will switch to the indicators that I use to spot the reversals on ceilings and floors, which is again, as I've shown you earlier, yung kaninang example ko will be RSI or stochastic, or depending on what indicator you want to use on sideways moving market. In fact, let me know in the comment section if there are other indicators that you wish, right, to use on sideways moving market. And yeah, if there's time, then message me as well of your opinion about it, right? Go and send me a direct message so I can also assist you or maybe clarify some things of which ones you should and you should not use on a given market condition based on my personal experience. Okay. All right. So so far Euro USD, GBP USD is still on that quite a zone, I would say. Yeah, staying on these levels right here. Again, my bias for these two currency pairs are still bullish, but then again, I cannot take a long position right now for long term because of that resistance. But again, if it goes back to the floor, just like what happened earlier today, look at that beautiful bullish engulfing there, spiking towards the next short-term resistance. That's good. That's a good sign for a buy position right there. So anything from the floor, right? Now when it hits the ceiling, then iba naman yung magiging bias natin, right? Not until it goes and reverse. Okay? So that gives me the reason to jump into NZD-USD where I have this pending order now happening, right? Kasi yung entry price ko magiging nasa taas nitong horizontal line. So we are seeing this horizontal line becoming a strong resistance since last week or at the end of May. So that's 65.42 level. Pero ngayon, I'm setting a buy order there, anticipating for a breakout. Ang entry price ko is nandun sa taas din naman. Right? Let's see if the price can break out tonight. At pag nangyari yun, then again, I'm expecting for this price to continue uptrend, right? So pag nangyari din yan, I would see this H4 chart moving in our favor, right? Then eventually we can go and take short-term trades as well there. Same with H1 and the 15-minute, right? Though your H1 chart is already or already have crossed over, yeah, yung EMAs ang ibig ko sabihin, pero we are very, very near the resistance. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, ang entry price ko is above. Yeah, so pag na-break niya yan, then that's a very, very, very good sign that the buyers, yeah, are pushing the price in the direction that we want to see. Okay, so that's a pending order for now. Let's see if the market can really break out. USD CAD is moving the opposite direction. Okay, so if you notice from here, yung pullback na ina-expect natin, hindi pa talaga nangyayari. Right, dito sana yung sell order natin. Okay, pero ito bumagsak ulit siya dito. For the people who are watching this on H4 chart, there you go. There's a downtrend continuation there. Sa akin lang, I want to be a little bit conservative, anticipating for a pullback there on D1. Alright, so saka tayo mas magkakaroon ng stronger confidence whether to take a sell or not. Pero pag nagtuloy-tuloy naman yan, hindi ko sinasabing laging bumabalik yan. Pero yes, yun yung ina-anticipate ko. Pag nagtuloy-tuloy yan at umabot dito sa floor level na to, look at that. So dito naman tayo maghahanap ng buy position towards that direction. Okay? So for now, ako nag-aantay pa rin ako ng pullback for USD CAD before we go and sell. So that resistance right there is 1.2640. Again, if you're trying to plot your support and resistance, you can pause this video and just go back to this later on, right? Once you have done your support and resistance, right? Then validate whether you agree with the analysis or not. Again, this session is not to force you to take positions. Always take this information with a grain of salt and decide based on your understanding. If it's quite unclear to you whether you want to take the trade or not, that's a good sign not to. Then move to the next currency pair. But if you have questions or things that you want to clarify, again, you can always send me a message on my Facebook, right? And I really appreciate the people who have sent messages there. And I understand that I may not have answered your questions real time, but you know it. As soon as I'm free, then I can go and respond to your messages. All right? So there you go. USD CAD, again, yun pa rin ang inaantay natin. But for the people who are looking for continuation, you have your H1 and your 15-minute chart there too. Okay? Still, I would anticipate for a little pullback back to the EMA, right? In this case. So as a reminder, and as the old saying goes, right, it's still better to trade the bounce, not the extension, right? Or else you are chasing already the current market's move. So mas maganda pa rin kung kaya mong abangan yung potential pa lang, right? Instead na lagi kang naghahabol, right? So there, going to USD CHF now, still playing around that 95.89 level, still holding that floor level, very very strong. Sellers, right? Can't really push through and break out that level. So we are probably, yeah, could see a bullish run here if that level is not broken soon, right? So kung mapapansin nyo, ilang beses nag-attempt si USD CHF pero right, hindi niya nabe-break yung floor level na yan. So let's see if there are buy orders here that we can take advantage of. I would love to go and set a buy somewhere close to this floor, right? Pero kanina hindi talaga siya bumababa. So I want to leave it at as is. Kasi kung makikita nyo sa 4-hourly chart natin, if we can just draw this trend line right here, we're seeing symmetrical triangle here potential. So there's a little bit of an indecision in the market right now. Neither the buyers or the sellers are really showing strength. So let's see if this price can really break through this time, right? Kung nangyari yan or kung mangyari man yan later on, right? Let me just change the color here para makita nyo yung difference. So it can be that uptrend that we could expect, a new high higher than the previous, a new low higher than the previous, and a beautiful confirmation of that reversal, right? So at the same time, if you're not looking at that symmetrical triangle and you are seeing this horizontal line as your resistance, then the same thing. Would love to see that breakout of that level first. Then at the same time, you will have that uptrend again as a confirmation for the breakout. So yun po yung actually inaabangan ko para makita talaga natin yung bullish run in this case, right? Pero pag hindi naman, then again, sabi ko nga, hindi naman 100% guaranteed, right? Yung mga ganitong setup, but there's higher probability for the market to move in that direction if these patterns are fulfilled, 'di ba? So pero pag hindi nangyari yan, then we still have a bigger room for selling here if the price breaks through the opposite direction and eventually towards another level. Yeah, so ibig sabihin, we are actually just waiting for where the price can break out and show us a much clearer view of who is dominating this move, whether the buyers or the sellers. Okay, so USD JPY is still at that ceiling. So yesterday, yeah, parang yesterday lang yung last week. Friday we had a buy order here for that bounce of the EMA on the 4-hourly chart. There you go. So nandito na tayo sa ceiling ngayon, and it is still trying to break through that level. The last time it was there was at the beginning of May, or towards the end of April, beginning of May. So kung mapapansin nyo, tinetest nyo ulit yung level na yan. If you are going for a weekly chart, right, you can just zoom out further at mapapansin nyo, if that price breaks out, then you could be seeing that price bouncing back again to where it was back in 2001, 2002. Right? So tingnan natin kung kaya ba talaga. Pag hindi, then we might expect for this to be a bigger sideways market, right? On the daily chart, magiging ganito yung itsura niyan. So possibly, yeah, you may watch out for these levels before going for that long-term sell naman. Okay? But this is becoming a pin bar right here. Tingnan natin kung yan ba yung magiging cost ng breakout. Pero usually as we see a low test bar coming from the resistance, in more often than not, right, we see a reversal more than a continuation. So you can go and back test, right, and find low test bar coming from an extension. Usually magre-reverse at magre-reverse naman talaga yan. There's a term there on the candlesticks world. It's called the hanging man, right? So doesn't really sound that good, but parang ganito. Look at that. Looks like a low test bar, pero eventually the price have broken downwards or moved downwards. So there's a very good chance that this level right here is becoming a strong resistance. So yun yung nangyayari sa atin dun sa current level. So again, if you are taking a buy which is kind of breaking out here right now, please understand that there's still a possibility of that price to break out. And if you're taking that long position, you understand, right, na pag hindi nag-breakout yan, there's still, right, a possibility of, yun, babalik nga siya. Pero again, hindi ko po sinasabing hindi niya kayang mag-breakout dyan, right? There's still a possibility there. But for me lang, medyo bumababa yung probability niya. But tomorrow morning, we could expect for some high impact news relating to the Japanese yen. So you have household spending there to be released at maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, right? So it could be the reason for that breakout. Hindi rin natin alam. Alright? Pero abang-abangan natin yan. Tapos you have another one the day after. Japanese GDP will be released for Q1. Right? And tawag dito, well, ito yung nakalagay. It's Q1. I'm not sure. It's already June. Right? So that's a little bit of a delayed report there. But so far, those are the high impact news that I'm seeing where the yen is highly involved. But of course, since you're trading dollar yen in this case, so meron ka ring may expect na high impact news tomorrow for dollar, right? But that mid impact lang naman siya, right? Pero again, hindi natin masasabi. Okay? Still, imports and export numbers can make the market move tomorrow. So yeah, you might want to check out on that as well, especially if you guys are trading on a much lower time frame, like 15 minutes, or maybe for some for the 1 minute and 5 minute chart, right? Those news or high impact news can highly affect short-term movement in the market. Okay, so that's currently at the resistance. For personally, I'm waiting for a breakout, then a retest, saka ako pumapasok dyan as conservative as I want to be. Aggressively, yes, pwede na tayong pumasok dyan with the understanding that we have a low probability trade, if not just mid. Right? Mas higher pa rin yung probability if we are seeing the move very, very clear, like malayo siya sa either resistance or sa floor level, right? For a potential reversal. Okay, so that's dollar yen, which actually, again, at the moment, we are still seeing inversely correlation with or negatively correlated siya kay gold, meaning if the dollar yen is likely to go up, right, we could expect for gold to go down. So ibig sabihin, knowing that the dollar yen is at the resistance, still gold is sitting on this floor level after spiking from last week, tapos nag-correction naman after, right? So tingnan natin kung itong move na to from here at 1847 to 1867 will be the cost of dollar yen dropping, right, for the next couple of hours, if not next couple of days. All right. So those are the major currency pairs that we have right now. Since we have enough time, let me go through the euro pairs that I'm also checking, right? We have euro AUD, right? There you go. Looking at that pullback that we were expecting from last week, ayun na nga, nangyari na po, right? We are now seeing that pullback right there. So from here, I was just waiting for a beautiful entry price for myself, pero wala akong makita sa H4, right? Medyo may pag-aalangan dito kanina. It was acting like it could break out, pero yun na nga, naging shooting star na siya dito, right? Look at that. So I'm just waiting for this bar to be confirmed so we can go for a sell from here and to the nearest floor level. So Euro AUD is on my watch list for a short position, right? The earliest would be is tomorrow morning as soon as I see this high test bar or the shooting star be confirmed. Yan, yun yung naabangan natin. Next, Euro USD. Tinignan na natin yan kanina, sorry. Euro CAD, yun yung pullback na hindi natin nakita. But this one is definitely a sideways move here. Okay? If you're on H4, yes, that move is already in motion. Kaso nga lang sa akin, again, I'm still waiting for that pullback to happen. You don't want to be caught up on a sell here and eventually the price goes back to the EMA tapos bumalik ulit, right? Though again, sabi ko nga, we are seeing a sideways move here, but the pressure is coming from this level towards that direction, right? Not unless this can be, yeah, a reversal towards that direction, but yeah, who knows? Not until that happens, I will stay with the sideways move on EuroCAD, right? Euro GBP is also doing the same thing. Yeah, pero not necessarily like sideways, but testing the resistance that we have here. If you are checking this out, you are seeing an ascending triangle. So, ibig sabihin, kung magtutuloy-tuloy yung pressure ni buyer in this direction, though they failed to break through the ceiling. But of course, if you are familiar with this type of chart patterns, you know that there's still buyer's pressure here. So, ibig sabihin for long term, we can anticipate for the breakout towards that direction. Okay? Now, pag hindi naman mangyari yan, knowing that this is really a strong resistance right here, then this can really push lower. So, ibig sabihin, for me, for a short position, I want to see the price break through that diagonal resistance, or sorry, floor level, before I go for a sell. Then we have a horizontal support right here, right, for a much long-term position for Euro GBP. So for the people who were able to get in earlier from that bounce from the ceiling, please watch out for this trend line or the next 84.90 floor level, just in case magtuloy-tuloy man siya. Pero still watch out for this one in case it might cause the bounce up. All right, so that's Euro GBP right there. Jumping on to Euro CHF, kung mapapansin nyo, still, right? Almost identical yung mga setup natin kasi very, very near sila sa resistance. So, ibig sabihin, if you're going long on Euro pairs, please watch out for this resistance to be broken first, right? Then, kung hindi naman, then you have a much clearer room there, or bigger room, I would say, for selling. In Euro CHF case, that's about 70-ish pips to go about, right? So, I would like to see a bearish engulfing happening here. So if this 4-hourly bar ends, then eventually goes up, then that's a good sign for a bearish engulfing. I would like to be in that. Then again, reminder lang po, may mga support level tayo na kailangan tingnan, right? Para mas maging comfortable kayo dun sa sell nyo, right? Na dapat mas malayo tayo dun sa floor level. Kasi again, if you're seeing that the price is touching the floor level, in most cases, it will reverse more than it can continue. Like this one, this is a beautiful breakout, but eventually the price went back. So, ibig sabihin, pag umaabot na dito sa floor level na to and you're making money, that's a level where you want to consider exiting the position first, then just reassess your position after. Okay? And Euro NZD, I still want to see that price breakout. Medyo may kabaliktaran lang dito. This time, we're seeing the opposite of what we saw on Euro GBP. Look at the pressure pushing or being pushed by the sellers this time. So, kung makikita nyo, descending naman yung triangle na nakikita natin. So, let's see how it goes. My bias on this is still short or bearish. So, ibig sabihin, as conservative as I want to be on a sell position from the ceiling or the breakout from here. Okay? So, yun yung mga inaabangan natin dyan. Okay? So, tingnan natin how it goes on Euro NZD for the next couple of days. Alright? So, since we still have more time, GBP pairs, or sorry, I don't want to go in on GBP pairs, but instead on the yen pairs, I would like to use this time for the yen pairs. Because this is very, very interesting on what's happening on the yen pairs for the last couple of weeks, right? Looking at the yen, this one particularly, all right? AUD JPY. So kung makikita nyo, nag-breakout na yan from last week. Nakita natin yung maliit na pullback earlier today. Now it's bouncing off that level again, right? Becoming a low test bar there. So we'll see how it can continue. Why am I concentrating on the yen pairs here? Kahit gusto ko pumunta dun sa GBP. Well, I want to see this being affected, or how will this be affected by the breakout of USD JPY and gold, right? So, ibig sabihin, if yen will be weaker, right, then you will see a USD JPY breakout. Then it could possibly influence, right, other yen pairs as well. So, pag nangyari yon, ibig sabihin, we might expect for a breakout on AUD JPY, Euro JPY as you see it here, right? So, pansinin nyo, nasa ceiling din yan. GBP JPY, though it already tested earlier, right? So, baka magka-pullback dyan, tapos meron tayong mas mataas na level doon. NZD JPY is also touching the ceiling. CHF JPY, if I just go back to the daily, yan pa lang yung pagka-breakout niyan Friday. So, testing pa lang siya dyan sa level na yan if it can continue. CAD JPY is almost the same situation as well. So, kung mapapansin nyo, very, very identical, right? Not necessarily like super identical, pero may similarities. Probably that's the right term. May similarities yung lahat ng yen pairs na nakikita natin so far. So, let me just go back to AUD JPY so we can scrutinize it. Okay? So, notice here the price have just recently break the 93.66 level. Kung nasa 4-hourly chart kayo, nangyari na yung pullback kanina, right? Yan, yung short-term pullback na yan. So, this is up by about 24 pips if you guys are in this trade already. So, just watch out for that ceiling if you're looking for that continuation at 95.08, okay, before taking on a long-term buy, right? Diba? So watch out for this one bago nyo extend yung take profit nyo higher than this one. If you're not in the trade yet, the 1 hourly chart is showing strength right there, right? Pero knowing that you could possibly consider this as your not really temporary resistance but a short-term resistance, yeah? So for some, probably ito yung something getting in your way there. So you might want to wait for the breakout before getting in really. Okay? So you might see that as your resistance right there. Kasi kaka-crossover niya lang din. So ayaw mong pumasok on a buy and ito yung mangyari sa'yo tapos 'di ba bumalik. So be a little bit careful there. So meaning for the guys who are in the trade for this low test bar making 24 pips there at least, watch out for this breakout. Okay? So going on to Euro JPY from my end, still nandun siya sa ceiling, so a little bit of a correction is expected, but you are seeing a very beautiful bullish run there as far as your EMAs and your waves or cycles are concerned. So ibig sabihin, if this can continue, that would be lovely for Euro JPY. Okay, that can possibly go right towards that direction right there. Pero sabi nga natin, it's been a while, right, since the price have tested that level. So we might expect for the sellers to really, right, intervene as we are seeing a potential doji bar happening here, which means there's indecision in the market. Neither of the buyers nor the sellers are really showing strength there as well. So ibig sabihin, that's a level to for us to really wait for, where either the market can break out or bounce off, right? Medyo a little different lang kay GBP JPY or pound yen. Kung mapapansin nyo, kung nasa line chart kayo, by the way, ito yung magiging lines nyo. Pero for people who are saying na mas okay sila or comfortable kayo dun sa mismong bar nyo nilalagay yung resistance. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito yung tinitingnan nyo dito na part, yeah, that's totally fine too. Again, there's no right or wrong support and resistance. It really is dependent dun saan or kung ano yung nakikita ni trader, right? Okay? So, kung yun yung nakita nyo po, then well and good. Bantayan nyo na lang hanggang mag-breakout siya or whatnot. Pero kung pullback inaasahan natin, that pullback already happened on the 4-hourly chart earlier. So, kung mapapansin nyo, beautiful low test bar there with a spike. So, we're currently looking at this very close to that ceiling, kung makikita nyo yan. But again, kung babalik ako doon sa sinabi ko kanina na nasa lines po ako nagbabase most of the time, then that level is already broken at ang babantayan natin is the next one right there. So meaning for me, if this EMAs continues in that direction, then yes, that's a good sign for that bullish pressure there, right? Coming from this reversal. So ibig sabihin, we have a beautiful room for a buy towards 167.48 for pound yen, right? NGG NCD JPY on the 4-hourly chart is kind of trying to break out the 85 level. So kung mapapansin nyo yan, I was expecting for a bearish engulfing earlier, pero nauna siyang bumaba dito. So technically, this is an invalid bearish engulfing already kasi pataas naman siya. So I'd like to see a drop on this one first. Unlike pound yen, nag-breakout na siya and you have a clear room there. Ito kasi medyo, right, nandun pa siya sa taas. But I'm not saying, again, this is not a valid bullish engulfing. Pwedeng magdire-diretso yan dyan at eventually saka lang tayo makaka-expect ng reversal. So kung ganun man ang mangyari tonight, magtuloy-tuloy siya pataas, then I would like to see it touch the resistance before I look for a sell. Pero kung biglang mag-bounce to dito, then buy ako tomorrow, right? If not on the next couple of days, right? Kung yun pullback muna ang mangyayari. So technically, I am closely monitoring the yen pairs as well for these scenarios. Okay? CHF JPY, that is the same thing, right? So kung makikita nyo, balik tayo sa line chart, dito po nanggagaling yan. So ibig sabihin, still I am willing to see this pullback before the breakout. Ibig sabihin lang nun, mas mataas yung probability natin na makita talaga siyang mag-breakout kasi may pressure from the buyers, right? Pero of course, knowing that this is a resistance, that pullback can also cause, right, a total reversal there from the ceiling, right? So ibig sabihin, papansin nyo, as zoom out ko po ulit ha, it's quite a while since the price have tested that level, right? Though it went for this little breakout, pero bumalik din naman siya and it has been years, right? Look at that level being tested again today. So will it break out? Will it bounce? Will it reverse? That's something that we want to see happen anytime soon. Pero sa akin, this is a crucial level where I want to see a reversal first, meaning a little pullback. Ito lang. So kung hindi niya kayang i-break to, then malamang pababa tayo, right? So I want to see this resistance really hold. Pero pag hindi naman talaga niya kaya, then yeah, it will be a different bias for us. Ibig sabihin, we are probably anticipating for a buy for the next couple of days. Yeah. So last but not the least on the yen pairs will be CAD JPY, which again have almost identical or similar setups right there, kagaya ng resistance nga na binibreak out niya, right? There's a little pullback there, pero very narrow. I wasn't able to take advantage of this from earlier today, but this is very, very beautiful. Look at that pullback before the bounce, right? So it's always good to see that pullback before getting in on a buy again if you're seeing a breakout. So meaning itong pullback na to is simply telling us, right, that the buyers were testing the level here and the sellers did not really react. So for the last couple of hours, the buyers are still in the market and the sellers are not really showing strength there. But then again, hindi natin sinasabi na yan na yung definite thing. The day is not done for the daily chart. This can still be a bearish engulfing and we could be seeing a different story, right, tomorrow for these yen pairs if they can't really stay above these horizontal levels that we have drawn. Again, itong levels lang naman na to ay tinitingnan natin for us to know whether the price can continue or reverse. Okay? So, kung hindi naman siya mag-reverse, then that's totally fine. Okay? At kung mag-continue siya, maghanap na lang tayo ng panibagong entry. So, technically, these are the currency pairs that I have on my watch list for the whole week. Primarily, again, the major currency pairs, the euro pairs, and the yen pairs, right? So we'll go and review these currency pairs performance on Wednesday. Again, charts up at 8:30. Once again, thank you so much for making time to be here. For the people who'll be watching the recorded right version of this session, again, please go back to your charts again if you're watching this on a much later time kasi baka nag-iba na yung movement ng market at hindi na katulad ng nakikita nyo dito sa akin, especially on the lower time frame. Again, for drawing support and resistance, you can always pause the video and plot the support and resistance. Let me know in the comment section as well if you agree with those levels. If you're quite shy on the comment section, I know you go and PM me directly. I am loving the PM too, or the direct message, right? Because my response becomes a little bit more personal, right? Kasi na-explain nyo sa akin kung ano talaga yung question nyo. But anyway, I'll see you guys on Wednesday, right? If, again, you're seeing this session or watching this video a much later time kasi nagkaroon ako ng mga messages na bakit ganyan, but iba yung chart ko kasi po medyo later nyo na nakita yung price action, right? Or sorry, yung video. So nag-move na yung price action differently. All right? So again, simple reminder, plan your trades, trade your plan, and if you find trading a little bit stressful, it only means you're not doing it properly because then again, reminding everyone, trading should be fun. You have a wonderful week. I'll see you Wednesday. Charts up at 8:30. Bye for now. Cheers, everyone.